Let us go to Tatu City when this XP was discovered. Was there fingerprinting done on that motor vehicle KCP 641B?
In record, my lord, we have KCN.
KCN, yes, that is the same one I'm talking about. Were fingerprints lifted from that motor vehicle at the scene?
It was not, and
you have answered my question. Confirm that
there was no need, my lord.
No, you said it was never lifted.
Yes, my lord.
Was DNA analysis of the motor vehicle articles done? Whatever was inside the motor vehicle?
No, my lord.
Was dusting done?
No, my lord.
Of the motor vehicle?
No, my lord.
Were photographs of the motor vehicle, scenes of crime taken of the motor vehicle?
My lord is not in record.
No, the question is, were photographs, scenes of crime photographs taken of the motor vehicle?
No, my lord.
It was a crime. It was a scene of crime. Is that correct?
No, my lord.
What was it? Where is the occupant?
My lord.
Are you telling us as an investigator for 18 years that you go and you come across an item involving somebody missing and you just pick it? Or that is critical evidence, you preserve it?
My lord, the motor vehicle was abandoned at Tatu City on 12th of June 2025.
Or you even know the date it was abandoned?
It is in record, my lord. My lord, when the motor vehicle was abandoned,
no,
by that time...
I've not asked you that question. You have answered my questions. If you can answer my questions, we can move very fast. But if you create your questions, it will take days. Now, I want you to confirm that time there was a squad called Kweke in your department.
I remember, my lord.
What was the role of Kweke?
I'm not deployed. I wasn't deployed. I've never worked with that team. I don't know, my lord.
Who was the head of DCI that time?
By that time, it was Mr. Kinoti, my lord.
It was Mr. Kinoti. Who was the minister in charge, the cabinet secretary?
2020. What a number of cabinet.
No, we are talking
I can't remember, my lord.
12th June 2021.
I can't remember, my lord.
Date.
I can't remember, my lord.
You can't remember?
Who was the minister?
And you are here telling us about girlfriends of Mwenda Mbijiwe.
She wasn't.
You can remember girlfriends and you can
She
remember
wasn't
the
a cabinet secretary. She wasn't a cabinet secretary in Kenya, my lord.
You can't remember the cabinet secretary who was in charge of internal security on 12th June.
The witness has answered the question, and it is not an offense not to know. He has answered the question. There is no need for counsel to argue.
You're not sure what you take note that
yes, he has answered the question.
But he wants to tell us what we want to hear, but we want to know the truth. Now, you are aware that Kweke was disbanded.
I'm aware, my lord.
Why was it disbanded?
I'm not aware, my lord.
Are you aware who was taking bodies to Yala?
I'm not aware, my lord.
It was Kweke. Are you aware who was taking bodies to actual human beings to Masinga Dam?
I'm not aware, my lord.
Are you aware of a police container at the DC headquarters where bodies used to be crammed? Then they are taken to Masinga Dam and the Yala, River Yala.
That's news to me, my lord.
Shakaora.
That's news to me, my lord.
My friend, you have a duty, you are on board to tell us this court who was killing people, who was taking bodies to Shakaora, who was taking bodies to River Yala, who was taking bodies to the crocodiles in Masinga Dam to consume. You have a duty, you are on oath. I put it to you that it is your team, including Kwekwe, plus the people you don't want to mention, who gave orders that if you disagree with the system at that time, you were taken for crocodiles to consume in Masinga, Yala, or Shakahora. Is that not true?
My lord, I'm a police officer. One of my core mandate is to protect life and property.
Now you have talked of previous IOs. You just joined this case recently.
Yes, my lord.
Who were the previous IOs?
We have Inspector Kaloki, who is now deceased. We have Corporal Omeru, who has since been transferred to mining department, attached to the mining department. Yes, my lord.
When did they hand over the file to you?
My lord, unless I check. My lord, my first interaction with this file was on 15th October 2028. I mean 2025, sorry. And
so they gave you the file after we had filed this application. Is that correct?
he had since been transferred. The file has been moving.
They gave you the file. I want you to confirm you are on oath, my friend. When you are on oath, it is between you and God. It's not what you tell us. It is between you, your conscience, and God. Yes. So it is not about us. It's about you and God. So tell us, if they gave you the file after we filed this application. We filed this application in August 2025.
My lord, the officer went
I
on
just
transfer.
want you to confirm that they gave you after this application had been filed.
I took over the file on 15th October last year, 2025.
That is after we had filed the case.
When did you file, my lord?
I've told you it was August.
If it is so, then it is so.
Now, where are the handover notes? Because when you hand over a file, you give a brief so that there's continuity. Give us the handover notes, which they gave to you.
My lord, I'm ready to bring it.
Do you have the handover notes?
I don't have it here, my lord.
You don't have it.
Here.
You don't have it.
Here.
We can't allow you to want to create your stories. You don't have it here. You confirm to this court that the report of the missing person was made on 13th June 2021. Is that correct?
No, my lord.
The first one. There were several reports.
The first one that was reported in our station will be number 15 and negative. Will be number 75 of 16.
Okay, 16. Let
Of
us go
June.
let us go by your date. Because the substance of it is that there was a report. Is that correct?
There was a report.
Now, can you give us the investigation diary of what was done on each day between 16th June 2021 and the 21st of November 2025? Because that is your testimony that you have had various correspondences. Give us the investigation diary.
It is there, my lord.
No, give us the investigation diary. Do you have it?
It is there, my lord.
What you did on each day?
Yes, my lord.
Why have you not attached it to your reply note?
I'll give it to you right
No,
now.
You have an affidavit, my friend, which is more than 50 pages. Eh? This is the burning affidavit is more than 50 pages. Why did you attach it to this? So that we can also interrogate it and see what the police officers were doing in real time with this case. Have you attached it?
I didn't attach it,
You
but
never
it is here.
attached it. You never attached it. Now, confirm to this court that it took you more than 4 years to write a reminder about Mwenda Mbijiwe, because your reminder is dated November 2025. 2021, September 2022, September 2023, September 2024, September, those are 4 years. You did nothing. You have nothing there to show. The next response from 2021 June is on 21st November 2025. Is that correct, when you wrote a reminder?
My lord, there was a circulation signal that had already been done.
When was it done? It was done in September 2021. Is that correct? Is that correct? It takes you 4 years later to write a reminder. Is that investigation, according to you as a detective?
My lord, we could also do without reminder. The first one could
Answer
still
my question. Don't make your own
maintain.
questions. My question is, your first signal is raised on September 2021. Is that correct?
Yes, my lord.
Then the second signal of a reminder is raised on 21st November 2025.
When
How
I
many
just
years are those?
when I just took over the file,
No.
my lord.
Just answer me. How many years are those? More than 4 years. Isn't that correct?
Around 4, my lord.
What can you investigate in 4 years if the file is dead and dormant? And you are the people who killed it. You didn't want the investigation of this file because you knew what you had done to Mwenda Mbijiwe. Isn't that correct?
My lord,
You had given him the crocodiles to consume. You know it. You cannot raise your hand here and say you never did it. That is what you did it. Whoever did it, they know it. And what is there? What knows? So, let me go to the next question. There was a report made at Mutangali, Kasarani, Central Police, and Rangata Police Station. Is that correct?
correct, my lord.
Those are more than 5 police stations. Even there was another one at Maua in Meru. Is that correct?
No, my lord.
There was another report made in Meru. Those are more than 5 reports. Who was scheming this reporting? Because this was schemed by yourselves to cover up. It is not normal for one person to get missing, and we have 5 reports of missing persons. And you created decoys. You antagonized the wife by trying to create a parallel lover to create a love triangle. Isn't that correct? To distort this case.
My lord, there is no record where a police officer made a report of a missing person.
Who is Mwenda? Who is Anne Mwenda?
It's the wife.
The
of
wife of Mbijiwe.
Yes, my lord.
You went and contaminated her mind that there was a Gachera to it. Isn't that correct?
That's news to me, my lord.
But that's why you are saying there is a Toiti who made a report.
We didn't manipulate our mind, my lord.
You manipulated her to create a parallel theory of a love triangle. That was your intention. And the intention was to cover up police brutality about Mwenda Mbijiwe. Isn't that correct?
That is interesting to put in record, my lord.
Okay, you created a theory of a love triangle to obscure the real truth in this issue. Is that correct?
My lord, it's a fact from the statement of the lady herself, my lord.
Now, in your testimony, we do know that Mwenda Mbijiwe had a smartphone, an iPhone for that matter. Isn't that correct?
I didn't know the make of his phone, my lord.
He had a smartphone.
That's news, my lord.
In your investigation, did you discover that that smartphone was being used by a spouse of an intelligence officer?
My lord,
He's not the witness.
that
Let the witness answer. If he doesn't know, he will tell us.
maybe he'll allow me to do my work.
No.
In the same way he's doing
The
his
problem,
work.
Your Lordship, I never interfered with him when the witness was testifying. Now it is my time to test the veracity of the testimony of this witness. And there is some anecdotal evidence that we know if they were doing proper investigation, then they should be able to trace that smartphone and know that it is in the possession of a spouse of an intelligence officer. Unless they have done nothing in terms of investigation.
Let him answer. Let him answer. If he knows, if he doesn't know.
My lord, my objection
Yes.
is as follows. The fact that Mwenda Mbijiwe had an iPhone and that iPhone is now in the custody of the wife of an intelligence officer did not form the testimony by the applicant. And it is not contained in any of the depositions in support of the application. So that is evidence that is being given by counsel. And I don't think that it is proper for counsel to test a witness with evidence that is not before the court.
Does he know about the smartphone? Let him
Your
answer.
Lordship, if I lay the foundation.
Yes, let him answer the
He mentioned
question.
about a phone number.
Ask
Yes,
the question.
let him answer. My friend, you are a senior officer, and we are here to tell the truth. That is our interest. No interest in this case. Just to know the truth, what happened. If Mwenda was consumed by crocodiles, we will tell the mother to give a piece. If he is alive, you can produce it.
Can you ask the question,
The
Mr.
question is this.
Ondieki?
Did you said you carried thorough investigations,
Yes, my lord.
and your two previous IOs in this case
Yes, my
who
lord.
handed over to you,
Yes, my lord.
did they mention to you, or in your own knowledge or within your knowledge, did you realize the iPhone belonging to Mwenda Mbijiwe is being used by a spouse of an intelligence officer?
My lord, I'm privy to the subscriber detail, but not the phone or the gadget that was housing this particular SIM card.
Can you elaborate on that?
My lord, I'm aware
Yes.
of the number, the SIM card number that belonged to the missing person, but not the device itself. Whether it was a smartphone, whether it was another Android phone, I'm not privy to it, my lord.
You talked of establishing call logs of that phone through the EMI.
Yes, my lord.
Did you do that?
My lord, miscellaneous applications were done,
Eh,
orders were served.
I get my question, my friend. Don't get your questions. My question is, did you do that?
We didn't do because we don't have the
So you don't
feedbacks.
have call logs.
We don't have the call logs with us to analyze.
You don't have the call logs with yourself. But you spoke of Matthew Namasaka, who was also missing.
Yes, my lord.
Eh? Do you have his phone?
Not the phone, but
The call logs I'm talking about. Because
No.
it will show you the coordinates where they were in real time.
no, my lord.
You don't have. Did you seek through our mutual legal assistance any help from America, Germany, or the European Union? The satellites. They have satellites which shows in real time what was happening. So if you are really interested in doing proper investigation, which are professional, you can also seek their assistance through their satellite. You remember the case of the lady who disappeared in Masai Mara? The satellite data cleared the animals, that the animals were innocent. Do you remember that case?
It's news to me, my lord.
You've never had a case of a lady who disappeared in Masai Mara?
You can explain, my lord.
You are saying you are an officer of 18 years,
Yes, my lord.
and you have never heard of that case?
I wasn't investigating that matter, my lord.
Then how did you know that they were talking? Because you said Mwenda called Matthew na Masaka. How did you know that? If you don't have any of that information.
My lord, Matthew Namasaka had a wife called Cynthia. When we took the statements of Cynthia, that's when Cynthia made a statement that his husband was called by the missing person, Mwenda Mbijiwe.
So for the last 5 years, what investigation have you been doing if you don't have call logs? Because that is where you would have gotten the real issue, who was calling Mwenda Mbijiwe or Namasaka in real time.
My lord, we sought for court orders. We sought Safaricom. It's from their feedback that we were able now to analyze what we have. And as of now, we do not have any feedback from Safaricom upon which we could analyze the call data.
You have said that the first applicant, the second applicant, I think, has never made a statement with you.
Yes, my
Is that
lord.
correct?
Very correct.
But in your testimony in Pew, you said somewhere that the biological mother of Mwenda Mbijiwe had indicated that she had never communicated, or she had never heard from him for several months.
Yes, my lord.
Where did you get that information from?
From the stepmother who made official report at Central Police Station.
You had the real mother,
I
and you could
mean
not
the
talk to her,
stepmother.
and you were busy dealing with the stepmother.
Who made
Divide
the
and rule.
Stepmother made the report. I've never met the biological mother.
But because you had antagonized the family so that they were suspicious on who was who by creating fear to everybody in the family. And you are saying, the aunt is saying, she has never spoken to her son for several months. Yet you have never spoken to her. Is that the investigation?
My lord, I've never met the biological mother whatsoever to date, other than this court, my lord.
Now, you did say that the Mutoni made a report on 14th June 2021 at Nairobi West. Is that correct?
Not correct, my lord.
What did you say? You said on 14th June 2021, the daughter Mutoni made a report at Nairobi West. Isn't that your testimony?
The mother, Stanley, called the daughter to make a report at Nairobi West. At Nairobi West, the lady was referred to come to Central. Of course, she did not come until the mother came and made the official
So
report.
there is no report at Nairobi West?
No report, my lord.
Now, the motor vehicle that was discovered was KCP 641. Okay, if I got you correct.
No, my lord.
What was the motor vehicle?
KCN.
Eh?
KCN
KCN
641K.
And it is your testimony that it was never tested.
It was never dusted, my lord.
No photos were taken of this motor vehicle at the scene before it was removed.
No photos in record, my lord.
No photos in record. No DNA analysis.
No.
of the
Not in
articles found in the motor vehicle.
Not in record, my lord.
And you want to convince us that you have done current investigation.
Why were they to be done, my lord?
Answer my questions. I told you don't create your questions. Answer my questions. What type of investigation have you carried out if you have not carried out any of those procedures which are critical in investigation?
There was a need to do that at that particular moment, my lord.
So you had made up your mind because you knew what you had done to Mbijiwe. You knew he was dead. That is why you never carried out any analysis. Is that correct?
No, my lord.
Now, let us go to Ruiru police station. When you arrived at Ruiru police station, you said that you were so sorry because the motor vehicle had already been handed over to the owner at the area. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Why could they hand over such a critical piece of evidence before the investigators looked at it? What were they covering up?
My lord, the motor vehicle in question was hired by the missing person. The motor vehicle had not been paid for because it was on hire. It is in record statement of the person hiring out the motor vehicle that he tracked his motor vehicle, but because he had not been paid, he switched off his motor vehicle. So by that time, there was no missing person report that had already been made. So it was a question of my client did not pay me. Perhaps he might have abandoned the motor vehicle and disappeared. So you only had to do verification of proof of ownership. And that's how the motor vehicle was handed over.
Okay. As a detective, did you take a statement from this owner of the motor vehicle?
Yes, my lord, I did.
Where is the statement?
I have it here, my lord.
We have it there. Now, let us go to 28 June 2021. When you visited the house of Frida Gacheri Doiti, what were you trying to establish as investigators when you went there?
My lord, remember on 11th June 2021, that was the last night to the 12th, waking up to 12th June when
my question is,
Mr.
Mbijiwe, what led you to go to a house? Because you must have had some leads which led you to a house. Yes. And show us why it was not your decoy to prove your theory of a rough triangle.
Pardon me, Lord.
I am saying you were investigating a case. Is
Yes,
that correct?
Yes, my lord.
What leads did you have that led you to Frida Gacheri Doiti? Because it is not just pop up with your investigation. You must have some solid leads leading you to a house. So what were the objective of going to a house?
That's where she was the last night waking up for 12th June. So of course it was important to also interact with the persons who interact with the missing person on the final days.
On the final day.
Yes, my lord.
Did you dust Doiti's house?
For what reason, my lord?
To know who else was there.
A house?
Because now we are dealing with a missing person, we need to know who were the last people to interact with him. So the only way you could get forensic evidence on people who were there.
My lord, it is in record. When
my question is, did you dust a house?
No,
That's
my lord.
You never did.
It wasn't necessary.
Now, I want to deal with the issue of Mwenda. Tell me who met Mwenda, where, when, and what you discussed about her husband.
My Lord, Mwenda is the wife of Mwenda Mbijiwe, and apparently she made the report at Langata police station. By all standards, it was important to record her statement, being that she was also a complainant in that matter. Yes, my Lord.
Then you antagonized her mind and her attitude by telling her that your husband was with a girlfriend.
That's
What was
news.
the purpose of Bachiri?
That's news, my Lord.
Now, you also visited the church. I think it was Redeemed Gospel Church,
Yes, my Lord.
the last place where Mwenda attended a church service.
Yes, my Lord.
And you found that Mwenda actually attended the church service.
Yes, my Lord.
Then somehow you found a watch lady at the gate
Yes, my Lord.
who concluded that, who told Mwenda, Mwenda Mbijiwe told that she had done a nice job.
Yes, my Lord.
What was the nice job?
For having ushered them in with the overwhelming work that was happening, because it was a training session. Quite a number of people were coming in. Being a lady, and she was able to coordinate to move the vehicles, directing them different ways. For her, for Mr. Mwenda Mbijiwe, it was an amazing job from that lady.
Amazing job.
Yes, ma'am.
So how many trainees attended the training?
I'm not privy to the numbers, but it was a good number, my Lord.
Quite a good number.
Yes, my Lord.
Have you ever interviewed any of the trainees during your investigations?
None of them, my Lord.
None of them.
And save for the bishop.
You said none of them. Then let us go to 9th July 2021, when the team proceeded to Tigoni, where KCP 641 he was recovered. Were you there?
I wasn't there, my Lord.
Or you weren't there?
Yes, my Lord.
Then you say that the various IOs from your team recorded several statements
Yes, my Lord.
from various people,
Yes, my Lord.
including a report from one Joseph Njenga.
Yes, my Lord.
But you confirm that no fingerprints were checked.
Yes, my Lord.
Then yes, now on 17th June 2021, I've asked that one, I think. You have no explanation why it took you more than 5 years to follow up, to make a follow-up of the case. You have no explanation.
Unfolding events on far as the investigation is done is documented. A lot has been done, my Lord, as I've explained, my Lord.
And there is no report from miscellaneous E2198 of 2021
Yes, my Lord.
investigating the M-Pesa accounts of Mbijiwe. You don't have any report. Could you confirm that this is a miscellaneous application you filed mysteriously just to cover up yourself?
There's nothing to hide, my Lord.
But where is the report? If you took it to court,
I don't write
the
to
court gave you
myself.
powers. The court gave you powers to investigate the M-Pesa account. Where is the report?
I don't write to myself to give a feedback to myself. I wrote, we did a miscellaneous application, it was served to another independent institution. It's them to give us the report, my lord.
So as you testify, you don't have any report.
I do not have,
You
my
don't
lord.
have any report. Then you carried some searches at the NTSA. Is that correct?
Yes, my lord.
And you also revisited Buiru to see whether there are CCTVs.
Yes, my lord.
So you confirmed that on 16th June 2025, when you were doing your preliminary investigations, you never checked whether there were CCTVs or not at Buiru.
Pardon, my lord?
When, as an investigator,
Yes, my lord.
when you what was seen,
Yes, my lord.
I thought the first thing is to safeguard the scene.
Yes, my lord.
Isn't that correct?
Yes, my lord.
And I want to know whether on 16th June 2021, when you visited the scene where the motor vehicle was discovered,
Yes, my lord.
whether you secured that scene. Did you secure it in any way?
Apparently, it was done by the initial investigators, my lord.
Was it secured?
I want to believe so, my lord.
Where is any evidence that it was secured?
From the statements of the initial investigator,
How was it secured?
they went to that particular place and they cordoned
They
the
couldn't
area.
know.
Yes, my lord.
Did they check whether there were CCTVs or not?
I'm not sure, my lord.
You are not sure. Then 4 years later, actually 4 years, 8 months later,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
went back to see whether there were any CCTV around. And you realized that it was only pushy. It was even more pushy.
Yes, my lord.
So you do know that CCTV survives depending on the level of repetition, because the tape is one. Once it is complete, it superimposes whatever new information. So 4 years, 8 months is a long time. Even if there was CCTV, you would not get anything.
My
Is
lord,
that correct?
my lord, as far as I know, Tatu City is a technological hub. I wanted to believe they have a very big storage capacity that could sustain that information. That's why I had to go and confirm. to
That's why
myself.
you went back.
Yes, my lord.
Now, in your letter dated 26 November 2025, you unfortunately discovered that there was no CCTV coverage in that area.
Yes, my lord.
Did you look for backup from institutions that operate around that area?
When we visited the scene, we walked around. There was none, my lord.
Now, you do confirm that during your career for 18 years, you have seen photos during the GNC riots. You saw civilian police officers abduct the GNC Nairobi streets. Is that correct?
My lord, police officer's role is to protect life and property.
No.
Not to abduct me.
Answer my question. Did you see that on TV, on social media, or anywhere? You saw armed police officers with the G3 or AK-47 abducting GNC youths.
I didn't see, my lord.
You never saw.
Yes, my lord.
You have also alluded to duplicate file having been forwarded to the ODPP.
Yes, my lord.
Do you have the forwarding letter?
It's there, my lord.